Well, welcome back to the historic cottage project. We are back out here after removing the concrete to build the new covered back porch. You can see the last little remnants of the old porch there. If you didn't see our videos taking this apart, tearing out the concrete, I encourage you to go back and watch those. That was a lot of fun. But for now, we're going to get started with the piers because it's kind of where you have to start. So we're getting the tubes set in place. We dug out the holes when we had the mini excavator here, but they're not exactly right. So working on lining them up just right, getting that dialed in. So let's dig in and get going. So with leaving some of the old framing there, we were able to actually really easily identify the corners, which now makes the middle pretty easy because we can just put a string line across and that gives us a nice straight line. You know, we may miss slightly. We got plenty of wiggle room with the 12-inch pier, but we want it pretty close. We want it to look nice. So the middle holes may take a little bit more digging on our part to straighten them up than the outer holes. We did this before the plumbing came through for the new sewer lateral, and we knew it was going to be pretty close to this hole. That's just kind of the nature of it. That's not a problem. The pipe does miss the actual hole, but you know, they got some dirt in it, whatever, that's fine. It's pretty close. We can fix it with shovels and the post hole digger and get those set just right. So we'll get started on these middle two now, and then height wise we got to be down minimum 30 inches here. That is frost, but I believe minimum 30 inches no matter where you are, just for ground bearing. So the grade is not going to be even across here, so we'll probably leave them all just tall with the 48-inch tube. That'll give us a nice clean height across, and even this will need some regrading around it, but the rest of them will look good. And then still got to finish the grade at the door. Got all four set in place. We are going to bring the grade laser before we fill them with concrete after they get inspected. They're probably slightly off. We'll check the final level. We can always pull up just a touch on the actual tube to get the top level. So now it's just time to backfill. The only downside to using the mini excavator to dig these holes is they're a little bit oversized now. I should have brought my Bobcat for backfill. Oh well, it will be back here to grade all this space out though, so we'll just get a rough backfill now and get the fine grading taken care of later. So a little bit of shovel work and we'll be ready for inspection. Tubes are all in place, got them backfilled around. Like I said, when we get the Bobcat in here, when the concrete arrives, we'll get it graded out a little better than it is currently, get these holes filled in more. This is enough shovel work for today though. So next up, get our concrete delivery and then mix it up, put it in the tubes. We are back to get the concrete in the piers. They've been inspected, they passed just fine. We also got plumbers working inside. So we need to do some grading back here, but also why not make it easy and bring the pallet right to each pier. So we'll get going down here with these two. Not sure how many bags each, but we got more than enough bags here total. So we'll let the fun begin. Getting things mixed up here. So we got the first pier tube filled, and that is level across. So the furthest over is actually the lowest, and actually I thought that was going to be the highest. I was hoping maybe we could pull the tubes up a little bit, but there's enough friction on the sides from the backfill that is not feasible. So we got the grade laser out here, and that little flat spot is level across. So we'll check each one. You know, doesn't matter a whole lot, but it'll make it a little more uniform when we're putting everything up top. So about 5 bags to get to that point. So just repeat that across 3 more times. We'll move the pallet as we go. So while Dave's been mixing here, I've been getting the yard graded out a little better. We're not doing final grade yet, but we're trying to get the ends filled in a little bit, and we're gonna want to get that even better before we get the lumber up, because that blocks some of our access, although we can still get the bucket in there a decent ways even once the framing is up and there's plenty of room between. So things will work out nicely. 2 down, 2 to go. So getting started on the third one here with the first bag. Move the pallet over to make it easy. So about 9 more plus within the wheelbarrow bags, and should be good to go. Then just gotta wait for it to set enough to finish the tops. Well, we got the last hole filled up there. We'll just level that off, let it sit for a little bit before we put the chamfer on it. The other 3 are already ready to go. We didn't mix it too wet, and the sun and breeze is helping us out, so got them leveled off. Chamfer on there to keep the edge from breaking, and looks a little nicer. So now it's just cleanup time. Got all the concrete in, got things graded out a little better back here, but we're gonna need some additional topsoil to make this all work out right. So you can see they're nice and level on top. We are gonna get some rain and storms tonight for the first time in over a month. So we are gonna cover these protected, so the roof line does not have a gutter except those little stubs that don't do anything. So the water is going to pour off here, and the concrete will be set, but pounding water on soft concrete could still damage the top. So we don't want that to happen. So a few minutes putting some protection on is well worth a little bit of time spent on that. We're back out a couple weeks later to get the frame going. We've had about 10 inches of rain in that time, and you can see the result here since it slopes all this way. Ground's still a little soft, but we got some more rain in the forecast, so time to get it done. We'll maybe get a little muddy on our shoes. Oh well. So we'll convert that bundle into the frame over here, and first step in that is getting our anchors in place. So we'll need to plumb down, get them set right, then get them all anchored in place. So we're just using the standard ABU 66 from Simpson with 5/8 inch Titan screw anchors. So just drill those in and good to go. Why is it so slow?
What?
Why is it so slow?
I think a battery may be going.
Okay. Well, we have charged batteries. We have batteries that are charged. I'll go on a little nature hike here. We got some raccoon prints in the mud here. Alright, so last of the 4 here, and for the middle 2, we just put a string line from the end. So good and tight, and then at the 2 ends, we just put a plumb bob down. So basically just how we got the piers in here to start with. We were so slightly off when we were doing it, but that's kind of the nature of putting them in first. They are certainly close enough. So now that we got our anchors in place, we will start getting the 6x6s prepped. So you may have noticed we have some decent height there to cover. We have 12-foot 6x6s and 8-foot long, and we're gonna have to do a splice. So I'm setting that up right now. You can probably kind of see the marks there. We're going to overlap and then bolt together. So we're using the 12-footers first. So that means I want to make the notch in them now. So we'll get started cutting. And then once we build the frame, we will use the new deck surface to get the cut down 8-footers into place. It's about 17 feet, give or take. So we should be good to go with what we got. Also stripping off the tube. So I've cut everything I can with the circular saw, and I just have a standard saw, not a beam saw unfortunately, so I can only get 2.5 inches in. 2 3/4 is halfway. Really close, so we'll just finish it up with the reciprocating saw. Got the splice notches all taken care of here, and I guarantee somebody's going to tell me, you can't do that. Well, I can, because I both have a stamped drawing with this detail on it telling me exactly what to do to splice the posts. Also, this will extend high enough up that the rail is supported by the original post, and the full length is not meant to actually carry the roof load. It's just meant to provide some additional bracing for both some wind uplift protection, but also a little bit down because it is older. Plus it looks good. I can imagine you could also make a screened in porch out of it eventually. So now that we got those ready to go, we have to pick them up and anchor them down and plumb them up and get them all good to go. Also, you may not have noticed that we have a different post up there than we started with. This was buried within the bundle from the delivery, smart guys, and no matter how we measured it and changed it, it was going to end up right in the notches we need to make to carry the rim beam. So it is longer than we're notching out for the 2x12s. If we turned it the other way, it would leave not much material on the back. So we just decided that quit messing around with it. We'll go get another one. We'll take care of returning that later because we didn't actually buy these materials, but it's a net wash because we haven't cut it. So, you know, the joys of lumber these days. So the other side fell down with just a slight touch. Let's see what happens on this side. All right, a little more than a slight. Glad I slipped back. All right, a little more than a slight. Glad I slipped back.
Got a light in. Which way do you want to cut?
Well, that needs to face forward.
Well, then you're going the wrong
But
direction.
you gotta. Why am I going the wrong direction?
Oh, the cut faces the house.
Yeah.
I gotta get around this. I was gonna get around this side. You gotta get on top of that.
Get out of that if you don't mind it. That's what I said.
Just kicked it, it bounced off it. So you're hitting a break now, I think you come back.
Right on. Got it?
Hope you do, because I'm falling down a hill. long one.
Longest I could find.
This round is soft.
If only we had square stakes.
I know it drives me with a sledgehammer. But
Personally, I prefer a ribeye, but
I noticed at home, he was doing concrete work at home, and he had the mortar mixer.
mud mixer.
Mud mixer.
Yeah. Well, if Mud Mixer wants to sponsor us, I'd be happy to have it.
I'm going to fall out a little, so it's hitting the void.
The cistern's over there.
Oh. No, my cistern lives out of town.
Swing and miss.
Why we get stairs all the time in this house. There we go. Stairs. Well, I didn't bring the level.
It's a good thing. Good thing I did.
Yeah. That's all right. Just through the impact. Here, when it fell off the thing here, whatever we did, it fell right. The tip went right in the mud.
Isn't that kind of a normal thing?
Push to the house. Like that?
Yeah, just slightly less than that. Okay, slightly. Yeah.
Ow! Go my feet. Never hurt. Don't drill your finger. Alright.
Should get it closer. There we go. This must be lighter.
Something.
That's good. We did go ahead and fill up the little pockets there from the old porch on each end. Used to be in the middle as well, but that all came out and went with the new frame. So just had to fill up the two ends here. Nobody will ever see it, but it's also really hard to fill it up later, and it went all the way through to the inside. So just a few bricks, a little bit of mortar, a few minutes, good to go. So we've shown a couple times at least how it's a heck of a lot easier as long as you're sure with your hands with circular saw to cut the notch instead of scoring a bunch of lines and then knocking it out. You do have to finish it with the reciprocating saw, which I think has a dead battery right as we were starting. Of course it does, but that is a whole lot quicker and a whole lot cleaner. So it's only going to take us a few minutes per post, and we got 4 of them. Sure is a lot more efficient to do that than running a bunch of notches across all 4. So once these are cut out, we will be ready to insert our double 2x12 beam out here. Then we can get rolling with the joists. Yeah, so there we go. Once you have a battery that actually has a charge in it, all you gotta do is plunge the reciprocating saw to complete the cut through, and out pops your piece. The reciprocating saw doesn't always get it quite perfect, but it's really easy to clean up with the oscillating saw. Love having those around, always really handy. Meanwhile, we got 3 of the 4 completely out. I got the circular saw cuts made on this last post, so a little bit more cutting and we're ready to go. Well, unfortunately the rain came in today quicker than we expected, although initially the forecast was for about this time, and then it looked later, and it still looks later, but we got some early as well, and the ground is turning to goo already because it was so wet, so we're just gonna pack up. We'll get back in a day or two depending on how the rest of the rain goes, and then we can get the rest of the frame up here, but we're all ready to go. We can slap the rest of it together pretty quickly, hopefully. Well, I'm in a fog this morning, but we're back to get the frame here put together. So we'll get our 2x12s cut to size and set in place, and then we can get the 2x8s that make up the majority of the framing in place. We'll just have to work around this little mud puddle down here. This year has been either too wet or too dry, and we're in a too wet phase at the moment, but we'll deal with it. Sun's out, burning through the fog. We're really close to the Mississippi River, that's why it's foggy. So let's get at it today. All right, this is definitely our first try getting this in place.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Wait a minute, I gotta line my end up your way. I'm in. I'm in.
Wow, you would not believe it. We cut these perfectly. Amazing.
Yeah. That's the right length board.
We are just so good.
Yeah. Why don't you put a screw in them so it doesn't fall out?
That would only fall out while I'm walking under it.
Yeah. It looks like it's gonna stay there. It'll stay. Don't worry. Don't need anything in it.
Oh, it'll stay. Straighten the cup out.
I thought you got shot with water. Holy cow.
What?
It's gotta be level.
Oh, I don't like that.
I gotta get on here so I don't brace there.
Could have used the ladder.
Well, I don't need it.
Oh, aren't you special?
You're gonna
Okay.
do that. Want me
I
down
don't know
there?
what you're doing. No, it's fine.
Okay.
Just
Ow! Mine fit in.
yeah, it fit in as well.
Ow. Inch.
Yeah.
Inch. Standard board.
Okay.
I'll hold it. You gonna get the hammer and, or you wanna come down here?
I'm gonna hold it here in the middle, and you can get the hammer.
Well, I gotta tap it this way. Or put it in. And then
Get it in
tap it.
place.
What?
Just get it in place, and then we'll.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta go a half inch. One more hit. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Little uneven here, but whatever. Whatevs.
Let's go get a screw.
Get around here.
Ow! It was a splinter. Big
Yeah, there's a bad spot.
Alright,
Put your hand right into it.
I reached. Yeah.
This way. Yep, that's tight.
Luckily it poked in and came right back out.
It was too big to do anything more.
It was huge. It's huge.
Alright, it wasn't quite as easy as I hoped. We ran into a couple little minor issues, but all in all, not too bad. So, we got our outer beam on, we got our ledger. We're ready to start filling in the joists here. Well, unfortunately, despite the weather being really nice today, it is mid-November, early sunset, so we had not even really half a day back here, but got a decent amount done. Not quite as much as I was hoping, but we got everything prepped to hit these joists pretty quick tomorrow morning. We're gonna get some more nice November weather, even though it's a Saturday tomorrow. So we'll go ahead and work it. It's a lot easier to work in the sunshine and nice temperatures than it is in cold rain. So take a weekend day now to make up for other stuff later, but we'll get the joists in and then we can get the actual deck boards going. And we are back the next day to take care of the second half. We're back in the afternoon. This morning was kind of gross, but we were also helping out with our annual scouting for food bag drop off. We'll pick up hopefully lots of canned food and non-perishable items next Saturday. So if that event goes on in your community, hopefully you're offering up a helping hand as well. Always a good cause. So basically we just got to repeat what we did on this side. So down at the ends here, we're using concealed flange hangers on the first board to go in, and then there will be another 2x12 that overlaps and creates the 2x12 band around the outside, and hopefully this fits, and it sure looks like it does. Maybe. I think you got that too far down.
Too far down here. It slid too far down on me.
Well, there we go. Back and forth.
It slid on me.
Yep. Well, that looks good.
It's in.
Okay, we just got to get those attached, and then we got a couple more to fill in. We're basically using this end to wedge the rim tight, because as you can see, it goes in a little bit, sort of can see, it goes in a little bit where it goes to frame because the siding sets back, but we actually may need to let up slightly on that wedge. We actually got it pushed further back because the brick's not even. It's a bit of a,
We gotta shove the
it's a
wall back.
slight amount of no wind here. Okay, we'll figure it out. So first time up on top here, last joist going in down at the end there, now that we got it tightened up. So just looking down and around. So you can see these posts where the splice is well above the rail point, so no problems with strength there. And it's not wobbly at all, as you would expect it not to be, so should be good to go. Now we'll need to order the deck boards and rail boards. We'll take a quick look at the frame here now that we got all of the joists in place. Not exactly perfectly lined up quite yet, but that's the last joist hanger going on right there. So as the sun slowly fades away on this nice mid-November day, I think we'll put an end to this video for now. Next time, as we mentioned, we'll be getting the deck boards down, the rail on, the post extensions up, all the finishes needed to make this a really nice deck to sit on. I'll be honest, I'm pretty jealous of this. I wish I had something nice big deck like this. So, as always, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. Maybe you learned something. Maybe not. Who knows? But either way, we enjoyed bringing it to you. So give us a like and a follow, subscription if you haven't already done so. Definitely helps us out. And we will see you on the next video.